In the heart of a lush West African village, nestled between rolling hills and dense forests, lived a devoted mother named Amina. She and her husband, Kofi, shared a deep love for their two children, Mosi and Asha. Their home was filled with laughter and joy, despite the challenges of rural life. Tragedy struck when Amina fell gravely ill and passed away. The village mourned and the children were left heartbroken. Kofi, struggling to raise his children alone, eventually remarried a woman named Zara, hoping to provide Mosi and Asha with a motherly figure. However, Zara's heart was cold and her true nature soon became apparent. Zara's bad behavior was subtle at first. She favored her own children, neglecting Mosi and Asha's needs. Over time, her behavior escalated to outright mistreatment. The children were given smaller food, forced to do all the household chores. They felt increasingly isolated and helpless. One evening, as Zara prepared a lavish meal for herself and her children, Mosi and Asha huddled together in the corner of the dark kitchen, their stomachs growling from hunger. The atmosphere in the house was heavy with despair. It was then that Amina's spirit, deeply troubled by her children's suffering, began to cry. Amina's spirit, drifting through the village in search of help, sensed the kindness of a young woman named Yara. Yara was known for her gentle nature and compassion, often seen aiding the elderly and sick in the village. Amina appeared to Yara one night in a dream. "Yara," Amina's voice was a tender whisper, "my children suffer under the harsh hand of my husband's new wife. Please help them. They need someone who will care for them as I once did." Yara, deeply moved by the dream, woke with a sense of purpose. The next day she visited Kofi's home under the pretense of offering assistance. She quickly noticed the children's hardships and the neglect they faced. Her heart went out to them, and she began to care for Mosi and Asha in secret, bringing them extra food and comforting them with kind words. Yara's kindness did not go unnoticed by the village. As she continued to help, word spread about her selfless actions. Meanwhile, Kofi, observing the positive changes in his children and feeling a deep sense of gratitude towards Yara, began to see her in a new light. He was also troubled by Zara's continued cruelty, despite Yara's intervention. One evening, after Zara had once again not cared for the children, Kofi confronted her. Their arguments reached the ears of the village elders, who decided to investigate. They spoke to Yara and learned of her compassion for Mosi and Asha. The elders, understanding the gravity of the situation, demanded that Zara change her ways or face the consequences of the community's beliefs in ancestral protection. Feeling the mounting pressure, Zara chose to leave the village, unable to withstand the collective will of the community. Kofi was left to reflect on the choices that had led to this moment. With Zara gone, Kofi and Yara's bond deepened. Yara's presence had brought stability and love back into Kofi's home. Over time, the two grew close, and Kofi found solace and love in Yara's company. They spent many evenings talking about their lives, their hopes and their dreams, finding comfort in each other's presence. Eventually, Kofi and Yara's relationship blossomed into love. The villagers, who had witnessed Yara's kindness and Kofi's genuine affection for her, supported their union. The wedding was a joyous occasion, filled with music and celebration, as the village came together to honor the new chapter in their lives. Mosi and Asha embraced Yara as a loving stepmother, and Kofi, Yara, Mosi, and Asha formed a new harmonious family. Yara's nurturing presence helped heal the wounds left by Zara's cruelty, and the household was filled with laughter and warmth once more. Amina's spirit, watching over her children from the ethereal plane, found peace knowing her beloved children were cared for and loved. She continued to guide and protect them, her legacy living on in the happiness of her family and the strength of the community that had come together to support them. In the end, Amina's love had transcended the bounds of life and death, creating a story of compassion, resilience, and renewal, that would be remembered by the village for generations to come.